Hi and welcome to this Pilates video. Pilates is pain-free movement, so don't at any point push into any sharp pain. Your body is yours, so work within your limits and be mindful of the watch points to be working in the right kind of posture that I'll be sharing with you as we go along. So let's start with a mobilising series. We're going to have our feet touching, then point our toes and follow with our heels to bring us to hip width with our feet. Let's be soft through the knees and centred through the lower back. So tilting the pelvis forward, tuck it back and find your midway position. Then think of your spine being lengthened with a string coming from the crown of our head. Here we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and release that slowly through the nose. And as we do that, let's just close eyes, focus in on your body. Notice how it's feeling, notice the support the feet are taking up and where your weight is coming through your feet. And we want to think of having a triangle through the feet, base of big toe, reaching the little toe out and the middle of the heel. And as you do that, just notice the change in your arch of your foot, perhaps the position of your knee and connection through your glutes. With your next breath out, we're going to connect into our core, cued by pelvic floor muscles. So as you breathe out, gently engage, back passage coming forward and up, just a gentle connection without surface abs or glutes joining in, and breathe in and relax. Next we're going to think about our rib cage position, so I want you to imagine your rib cage like a bell, and you're going to ring your bell forward without changing through the lower back, and then ring your bell back. Ring the bell forward and ring the bell back, getting this thoracic movement without moving through the lower back. Then we're just going to bring our arms overhead without hunching shoulders, so maybe hunch shoulders up, drop them down. Now we're going to come into a gliding of the rib cage, over the ribs, back to the middle and to the other side. Good. And then we're going to bring arms down. Let's just roll through the shoulders. We're going to move through the neck. So let's glide our chin forward into our chicken move and tuck the chin back, making a bit of a double chin, gliding forward, not a nodding up and down, but on that plane, same plane, moving forward, tucking back, keeping that tuck. Then we're going to rotate to look over one shoulder and back to the other and to the middle, and let's come into a stretch, ear towards shoulder, arm over the top, reaching down through the other arm and switching sides. Release and roll. So into our upper body rolls, we're going to do a shoulder up, back and down and glide to the side and come back up. With this move, our pelvis is staying level, getting that side bend. You might feel it as a bit of a stretch coming down the side of the torso. This time we're going to follow forward with the shoulder swivel. As we're here, just think about your posture, check in with your knees that they're soft, that triangle of weight there through the feet. Then we're going to re-stack through the spine, neutral through the back, soft through the ribs, drop through the shoulders and long through the neck. Let's just float up onto our toes. And with our breath, we're going to breathe in, breathe out, engage as we come down, rolling forward. Let's breathe in to hold, breathe out, engage, unwind through the spine, lengthening up and then floating up onto our toes. Do one more to each side. Breathe in, prepare, breathe out, engage. Coming down, rolling forward. We're going to breathe in, pause here. Breathe out, engage, unwind. Length and float up onto our toes. Let's come back down. Rolling, side bend, forward, swivel. Check our posture as we breathe in, relax through the core. Breathe out, engage and unwind. Coming into chest stretch, we're going to do a diagonal move of the arms back and then coming down. Without changing through rib cage or pelvis. And we're looking to get a bit of a reach and a stretch through the inside of the arms into the pecs there. Let's do one more. Brilliant. Moving into foot series then. If you've got a squishy ball, you can pop it between your knees. But we're going to come into a knee bend, heels, straightening through the knees and come back down. We'll get all those clicks out. Knees, heels, straighten and down and up onto our toes, into our knee bend and heels down. Toes, knees and heels down. Well done. Good. Okay, a little bit wider. Feet pointed out, ready for some plie squats, working through our quads, but as we come up, we want to work through our glutes. So let's breathe in, breathe out, engage. Breathe in, we're going to push through our heels as we come back up. Breathe out, engage, come down, breathe in, come up. Engaging as we come down, relaxing as we come up. Brilliant. This next one we're going to come halfway and stay there, coming into our dumb waiter. So now we want to think of our shoulder blades sliding down the back, really long through the neck. We've got that string coming from the crown of our head. Let's take that into Cleopatra. So we straighten through the elbows, palms face down, up, and come back in, and again. Lovely. And with this next one, we're going to take it into a mermaid stretch. So one hand comes down, the other up. Watch the shoulders, that they don't come up towards the ears, keep them down. Then we bend through the torso, chest still forward, and then we come over with the arm. Then we're going to come wide with the arms, up through the knees, sinking down, hand comes down, up, bend, then over. Really great to do these with a mirror in front of you so that you can see actually what's happening to your body as you come through these movements. Fantastic. So coming into some balance work, stepping a little wider than the hip with our feet, we're going to shift our weight onto one side. We want to check our alignment, that our hip doesn't stick out to the side. We want ankle, knee, hip, with knee just bent slightly. Toe balance, length through the spine, we're still neutral. We're going to bring that leg up and down. Well done. Then we're going to take it into standing clam. So just hook your foot behind and we'll open through the knee and come back. Pelvis is staying still. You want to think that you're working into that back pocket area as you're rotating out. This next one, we're just going to push into that range a little bit more and then come back. Well done. From there, we're going to take it into a glute stretch. Do hold on if you need some extra balance. But with this move, I'm going to come on side on for you. Bring your foot across. You're going to stick bum out and lean forward with torso, but keeping length through the spine. And then we're going to push down through the outer knee. Really stick bum as if you're going to sit onto a sofa. And to increase that stretch, you bend into that knee, single knee squat. Well done, length through the spine. Feel that stretch coming around the side of the hip. Such a great stretch. Multitasking, working on our balance, and release the leg down and shake through the other leg. So let's do that onto the other side. Coming across, checking our alignment, getting our length, balance, floating up, coming down. Soft through supporting knee, level through pelvis as that leg is coming up. And we're going to hook our foot behind the knee to come into clam. You can have use the wall or a chair for balance. This next one we're going to push out. So working through our gluteal muscles. And then 3 more. But before we come into our glute stretch, bringing foot across, leaning forward, bending into this knee here, pushing down into that knee, keeping our length through the spine, shoulders dropped, chins tucked. Well done. And coming back up. A little bit wider again. And we're going to bring our weight across and align ourselves nicely. That leaves our leg out to the side. So keeping our pelvis level, we're going to bring that leg up to the side. What we don't want to do is this. So do this in front of the mirror. Staying upright, think of a plumb line coming through the spine as we bring that leg out to the side. And you want to feel it working in the back. If you feel it working more here, then you need to take the leg just behind you slightly so we can really connect into glutes and not compensate with elsewhere. Good, coming across. Getting level, got a little bend through this leg, and up we come into that lift. Keeping pelvis level, feeling it into the back pocket, Lovely. We have a nice little standing warm up there, bringing some of our posture principles into this position. Let's take that into our roll down move then, to the end of our mats, gap between our feet, neutral and length. We're going to breathe in, breathe out, engage, chin comes forward, head, shoulders rolling down. Reaching your limit. If you're tight through your hamstrings, you can bend through the knees more, but either way we want to be soft through the knees. Let your head, arms, shoulders just be heavy into that stretch. We're going to breathe in, breathe out, engage, unwind through the spine, gaining length. Let's float onto our toes. Let's bring our arms overhead, keeping our shoulders down. Our tallest selves, then arms come down, heels come down, and let's roll down. Get that lovely movement through the spine. You could do this with your eyes closed. Nice and slowly, just really noticing the movement that comes through your spine. And when you reach your limit, breathing in, breathe out and unwind. Lengthening up, shoulders drop, chins tucked up onto our toes, arms overhead but the shoulders staying down. Coming back to that rib cage movement if you want, or just coming into your tallest self. We're still on our toes, gliding the ribs across, coming back to the middle, glide and to the middle, arms down, heels down. This next one we're going to take it into downward dog. So when you reach your limit, we walk forward with our hands, bum stays high, knees stay straight, elbows soft and chins tucked. Know that we're in a stretch of our calves. We're then going to make that dynamic bending a knee, bringing the heel down, change, change. But if you had, we don't want to have a lot of adjustment kind of in the lower back or pelvis as we're doing this. It's coming from hip, ankle and knee. Well done. Then from here, we're just going to walk forward into our shoulder plank position, bringing our hands slightly forward of our shoulders and slightly wider. You're going to lower your bum just slightly. We want to be open through the chest, long through the neck, soft through the elbows, connected into our core and breathing. And then if you've got any more bandwidth, then slide your shoulder blades down your back. We're then going to bend our knees to the floor and come into a cat-cow stretch, chin into chest, rounding through the upper back, then head coming up, arching through the lower back. Let's breathe in, breathe out, engage. Let's do a maximal connection into our core as we round into that movement. Then we breathe in, we relax in our core. We breathe out, maximum connection to move. Then breathe in and relax and come back to neutral. So 2 series here. For you to choose which level you'll work at. So a level where we just want to be building on the basics. We're going to come into our box lifts. So we're neutral through the lower back, drop through the shoulders, we hover through the knees without shifting our weight in any direction. There's very little change other than the knees coming away. So we breathe in, breathe out, engage, hover, breathe in and relax down. And then in between you can come into your thread the needle, bringing an arm up, threading it through, lowering your shoulder to the floor, pushing down through the back of your arm which is on the floor, and then coming back to the other side. Follow with the head as the arm goes up, bring it through, pushing down so we get that rotation through the upper back, relax through the head and come back. Then you can come back to your box lifts, or so do another sequence of that if you're at that level, or we're going to bring our hands forward and we're going to come into a shoulder plank and then a side plank. So elbows are soft, but we've got a longer reach now. We're going to breathe in, breathe out, engage, hover, breathe in to straighten the knees and shift our weight over our hands. Let's think of our form here, open through the chest, long through the neck. Then we bring our hand to the middle, and we swivel through the feet, bringing our arm up, and if you're able just to stack your feet, then do. And then we're going to bring that hand down, And out to the other side, back to the middle, and rotate. Shoulders dropped, nicely aligned, hand down, and out. Then we're all, whichever level we're working at, going to come into a shell stretch. And we're going to breathe in and slowly out in that shell stretch. And from there we're going to come onto our backs. So let's start with some abdo preps and some surface abdominal work. We're going to walk our heels close to our bum. Let's find our neutral position. Just check that with your hand and let's sink through ribs. We want to interlink our fingers, cradle the base of our head. Elbows will be wide. We want to keep that neutral curve in the lower back as we go through this movement. So let's breathe in, breathe out, engage into our core, probably to about 50% of effort, and then breathe in and relax down. Breathe out, engage, rolling forward, breathe in, relaxing down. Breathe out, engage forward, breathe in, relax down. If you want to take that to be a little bit more demanding, then you can bring a leg into tabletop, and then we'll switch legs. Or you can just keep going with both feet down, work at your level, make sure you're breathing through the move. If you want to make it even harder, as you're rolling up, your leg can straighten. Breathe out forward, breathe in back, and then 2 to the other side. Last one. Fantastic work. Brilliant. Chins tucked, open through the chest into our hundreds move. Pulsing through the arms, reaching through the fingertips. Feel your shoulders sinking away from your ears. You're going to breathe in for 5 pulses and out for 5. And we're going to stay engaged through the whole breath cycle. You could continue at this level, or you could bring a single leg into tabletop, or we could come into double tabletop. If we're going to do that, we're going to sink further through the ribs, get a greater connection into our core, and bring the second leg up. If you have your squishy ball to hand, you can pop it between your knees, and we keep pulsing with the arms. If you've got any shoulder pain, you could do it with one arm and not the other, or you could just, you don't have to do the arms, you could just be rested. But let's breathe in, nice slow breath, and out, staying connected into our core. If you want to make that a little bit harder, we can roll forward into our abdo prep position. You could bring a hand just to take some of the weight of the head, but keep going with the hand, or you could stay where you were. And if at any point you feel you're losing one of your watch points, that neutral lower back, if you're not able to breathe, if you're not able to stay connected into your core, if you've got pain anywhere, then just lower a leg. Now we're all going to bring our arms down and one leg down at a time. Let's come into our hip twist 2. You're going to have your feet stuck together. We're going to bring knees one way, head the other, into our hip twist. 2 stretch, breathe in to hold. Breathe out, come back up and over, and breathe in to hold. And back to the middle. Good, so final move then is going to be our double leg stretch, and there's options at which level. So level 1, we're going to do an opposite arm, we're going to go back with the arms and around in a circular movement, and a leg is going to go, just one leg. So with that, we're sinking our ribs down so ribs don't follow with the arm movement. And our pelvis is staying still as we get that leg movement. It's a nice coordination challenge. Or we're going to come into double tabletop if we have no pain. We're going to breathe out, engage, come up. Arms are going to stay still as arms come back and around. Our watch points are our lower back curve and our soft ribs. Then we're going to come into a halfway move where we just reach one leg away, keeping the other still. If you're able to maintain your lower back position and your other watch points, then if you wanted to, you could come into a double leg stretch. Just a reminder, Pilates is pain-free, so don't be pushing into any pain. We're breathing out away, breathing in back, engaging through the core as we do this move. So whichever level you're doing, we're going to do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down with the arms, down with one leg at a time. Fantastic work. Let's bring one knee in, reach the other leg away, keeping that curve and small at the back. We'll switch sides. And then into a knee hug. You can scoop through the knees, get some release. And then just before you get up, place your hands on your ribs, focusing on your breath, breathing again in through the nose, sending the breath down to the bases and the back of your lungs, expanding into the floor and then slowly releasing that breath. Excellent work. Thank you for joining me.